hours at a time to do makeup and be confident. And I got to a point where I was like, instead of being insecure about it, why don't I just take what I love that she does, and what I love that she does is like when I sit in her chair, she's making me feel beautiful inside and out.
Yeah.
And she helps me, and that's what I love too. And people are coming for me because they like the looks that she does on me. So, okay, instead of being like, I can't do it, automatically shutting it off and just being insecure about it and be like, I'm not as good as her, I don't have that touch, I can't do this, I can't do that cut crease, whatever. Just own up to it, and if I have to fail, fail.
Yeah.
And for a while, that insecurity was like, oh, I'm not going to be as good as her, they're automatically not going to like it, and I would talk myself out of it instead of just being like, no, guess what? They're hiring you, show up, do it, and at the end of the day, you could always do it better than them.
Yeah.
That's why they're hiring me.
Right.
And I started to talk to myself like that, and that really got me out of a huge funk that at that point, I was like, all right, I actually really like this, and I've really taught myself a lot more things. And when I was at the salon, which I'm actually back at now, I wanted to become an educator. And I was the only lefty stylist there, so I ended up being a lefty educator, and that even took me a long time to do, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta teach people, like, that freaks me out, because I look at other stylists there, and I was like, okay, like, I wanna be as good as their balayage, and I would sit there and watch them do balayages, and instead of comparing myself to them, I would literally break down my wall and be like, okay, this is what you do that I don't do, so how can I be on that level? And it really just comes down to like breaking your wall and your ego of just like automatically shutting it off and just doing it.
Yeah. It's the same thing as being a trainer.
Yeah.
Especially, not like I'm insecure here. I love this place. Being at Fast Switch is the most amazing atmosphere you could have because you can learn so much here, and every single trainer is different. But being in the fitness industry, there are so many different types of trainers. So you have, again, strength and conditioning coaches, you have certified personal trainers, you have all these different avenues that people don't even realize, kettlebell specialties, mobility specialties, like all these different things that, yeah, you should be continuing to learn always, but by no means should you enter a gym and just try to be like the trainers that you see there. Because again, like we said, trying to be somebody else, there's already that person. That person is already doing what they're doing. So why are you trying to perfectly replicate what that person's doing? That person is already in existence. Take what you're doing, again, continue to learn, take different forms, learn them, and then add them into it so that you have a different, you're always gonna have a different training style. Just like all makeup artists have different styles, they like to do different things with makeup, hair, everything like that. It's the same thing with being a trainer. It's, I'm not going to come in here and I'm not a strength and conditioning coach. Yeah, have I trained athletes before? I used to coach. I used to be an athlete, everything like that. So I know a basis of it, but by no means am I going to come in here and try to be like everybody else that's in here. I went to school for athletic training, so a lot of my training is like injury rehab and bringing people into like their daily lives and being able to function better again. And then, I got my personal training certification, so I know how weight loss, strengthening, weight training, and now I start to incorporate different power lifts and different strength and conditioning things into it. But by no means do I come in here and feel bad about myself that I don't know as much about strength and conditioning as everybody else. And I'm not going to try to pretend that that's what my specialty is in and I know everything about it. That's why you're constantly learning and taking your training style and be like, oh, I really like that, I can incorporate it this way, learning why they're doing what they're doing during remind me of a Muppet. It's like the chef and he's like I'm done.
Told you guys, we're in rare form today. When we film these things, you guys never know what personality you're getting from us.
Is it just
such a serious
sentence?
you don't know what you're gonna get.
Oh my god! But Steven, all the industries, be who you are as like a professional. If you're a trainer and you go into a new gym and you find that people have a different education than you and people have a different specialty, don't think that your way is wrong or
I don't think you're any less.
You're as long as you are knowledgeable and you're able to put together and see results and help people, that you have your own niche.
Yeah.
Don't try to take on somebody else as a trainer because you see how good of a trainer they are. Okay, they probably went through the same thing as you do.
Yeah.
Like we said, once a month, I think that I'm the world's worst trainer. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Why do people even pay for my services? 2 days later, I wake up, I'm like, oh, this bitch is lifting 300 pounds off the ground. I'm a good trainer. Oh, okay.
Yeah, literally. I know. I'm like, why do people want to learn food? Why? What do I do? Like, and then 2 days later, I'm like, oh, I get it.
You're like, no, I'm actually fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Doing great. We're doing great.
But
It's really. I also feel like too. It's a lot of ego too.
Yeah.
You just get over it.
Yeah.
Just do it. A lot of people always ask me like, how do you, after you learn something and you like go do it in the salon? I'm like, do you know how many times where I just got behind the chair without like getting my haircuts checked or any of that? I would freak out. I'm like, oh my god, it probably sucks. I'm like, they're gonna go home with layers that aren't even. And then I realized to educate myself more on things that I didn't think I was good at, and just owning up to it.
Yeah, if you're insecure about something and it has to do with your job, or it has to do with like a hobby of yours or something that you're teaching or something that people are coming to you for, just continue to educate yourself.
Yeah.
You should never stop learning your trade. So if you find that you're comparing yourself to other trainers or other artists, it's because you're not continuing to stimulate yourself or keep your mind going or learning new things. So you think that this person knows more than you. Okay, but that person probably goes home like every night and researches videos or researches whatever. So if you're gonna sit there and feel sorry for yourself, but you're not putting in any extra work, like you go to school, you get a degree, you get a certification. Every degree or certification usually has continuing education. Yeah. So you're supposed to continue to learn up-to-date things or new things or combine things and get new specialties. Doing that is going to keep you going and keep you more secure of like, okay, no, I do know my shit. He knows something else that I don't. That's totally fine. That's why his clients go to his clients. Yeah. My clients are seeing results too. Like, I'm all set. Like, everyone is getting results. Everybody enjoys coming here, things like that. So if you're insecure about you as a professional, it's just because you're becoming very stagnant in what you're doing. Refresh yourself, start doing new things, take on risks. Again, get outside of that comfort zone that we always talk about. Earlier we said that we are going to talk about insecurities, but also talk about calling people out about how they fix their insecurities. And so this is not turning into a bashing time, because we love everybody. You do whatever you need to do. If you need to get a surgery done to feel better about yourself and start your life and function better, that is perfectly fine. All we're asking you to do is be honest about it. Don't pretend that you are working super, super, super hard for your body.
Photoshop your picture.
And then you are photoshopping your picture. You take a trip
Guys,
to Brazil and put your stomach into your butt.
I'm just going to say, if you Photoshop your picture, please stand behind a white wall. Because I just love seeing someone stand like by a fence or something, and you just see the fence just like warped, and I'm like,
you're just like,
what's happening?
Something's happening.
Like, what's happening? Granted, like, I mean, I'll be the first to say, like, I do edit my pictures, not my body. I edit my face because I like to, I feel like camera washes a lot of things out, so I make myself look tanner, smooth out my skin just like a little bit, and I like make my eyes pop a little bit more, but other than that, I'm like, it's literally enhancing what is in person. I will not, if I make a picture look too edited, I'm like, no. Yeah. Like, no, not at all.
And that's, I think we wanted to come out and talk about this Photoshop and this surgery thing because I have a lot of women who reach out to me, and when I post something, like yesterday I posted about lighting, and different lighting causes different things, or different times of the day, different angles, all of these different tricks that people pick up and they post it, and then you're sitting there looking down at your stomach and you're like, well, I don't look like that. Okay, well, if you go and check that person right now, they might not look like their picture either. Yeah. So we wanted to, a lot of women bring up Photoshop to me is they didn't understand the extent to it. Like, I don't have Photoshop on my phone. The most editing that I do, again, is if I want to bring like a little brightness down, I have the little shadows that are already there. So I don't even know the extent that Photoshop can do, but apparently there's things where you can pull out your butt, pinch in your waist, do all these different things.
It's too excessive for me.
So that's a lot of time that
It's
people spend on doing it. But then it's kind of like catfishing someone on a dating app. If you go and see somebody after you just photoshopped all that shit,
And you see them in person, you're like, oh.
you're like, what the fuck? And then they're like, okay, well, this isn't you. Bye.
Someone actually, I don't even know. Obviously, I'm not gonna say their name, but I was going to a client's house. I can't remember when it was, but she like said, "Wow, I'm surprised you look how you look on Instagram." And I'm like,
what does that mean?
I'm gonna take that as a compliment because I guess my Instagram's not a liar. Like, and it's so true nowadays. Have you ever met someone where you see their Instagram and then you see them in person, you're like, oh.
You're just, oh, okay. But
I always say a filter does not follow you around in real life. Be true to who you are.
my biggest pet peeve, I was talking to one of my friends about this the other day. My biggest pet peeve on when I was using a dating app is scrolling through and seeing men's profiles have Snapchat filters on them.
with the dog ears.
As a male, please do not put.
Do they use the beard filter because they know they
No,
like beard?
it's not a beard filter. It's like fix my face, my eyes are bigger, harder on my head, or dog ear. As a male, do not put a fucking Snapchat filter on and think that is something you put on your profile or post anywhere besides an immediate Snapchat to an immediate person that you're joking around with. I swear to God. That's a whole different podcast about masculinity and shit like that. Just don't do it, please. I'm just trying to save you. Don't do it, please. But with it, besides photoshopping, surgery, okay? Again, people deal with their insecurities different ways. If you want to get surgery done and you want to get work done and that makes you feel better and that makes you a more confident human being and you walk around and you get your shit done and you're successful, whatever. Get your surgery. I am not a person to knock you down with getting surgery. I am a person of knocking you down
If you say you worked for it.
If you go and get surgery done, you get ass implants, you go and get the Brazilian
Kardashian,
whatever you do, and you come back and you're like, hey guys, went missing for a little bit but been working super hard at the gym, fuck off.
I literally,
because you are not.
Oh my god, I can't. When people get the Brazilian butt lift and they're like, yeah, like, oh my god, my butt grew. I'm like, your thighs don't even match how big your butt is.
Yeah, it's like, if there's one thing about females that sets me off about the gym, it's that. Do not, again, if you get work done and that means you hate working out,
give a shout out to the person who did it.
Okay?
It's a great job.
Great. Like, if you don't want to work hard, you don't care about like being in shape, you don't care about whatever. Again, as a trainer, I can't sit here and condone that because everybody should be healthy and everybody should be active. But if you get it done and you come back and you're trying to pretend that you worked for that, stop. Because people bust their fucking ass, their literal ass, to get any sort of an ass, or in order to grow their legs, or in order to get tighter waists. People are literally busting their ass to try to do it naturally, and for you to just pretend that you worked that hard for that, it's literally a slap in the face, and that's what discourages other people, and that's something that I do not condone. Yeah. You do not deter other people from continuing their journey because they don't see results as fast as you do, because you got there in a very shortcut way. Again, by all means, if you want to do it, but do not pretend that you worked hard for anything that you bought. Yeah. That literally, I don't know if anybody just noticed, sets me off.
That would set me off, yeah.
And it's the same thing with, like, again, if people are unhealthy and you have to get like a gastric sleeve and that's how you lose weight, that's perfectly fine. If you needed that in order to lose weight and now you're doing much better and everything, and you tried everything that you could to lose weight and it's just not happening, you're unhealthy and the doctors are like, you should do this in order to be healthy and survive, but then get an unhealthy lifestyle, and you sit there and, again, pretend like, oh, I've been eating super healthy, and you have to do that leading up to it, but people who are on, again, trying to do this and they're not getting results as fast as you, just be honest with the work that you're getting done. Yeah. Is literally all we're saying. Go and get the work done, whatever you need to do. Again, I would rather everybody try every single natural possible way in order to get healthy. I know that there are some circumstances in which it just can't happen. You need something to be done. Cosmetically, different story. Like boobs, getting your boobs done, kind of blatantly obvious. But people, it's funny because I'm into fitness, I've had a lot of friends ask me when I'm gonna get a boob job. I'm never getting a boob job, point blank. I do jujitsu. It's just not something that I want on my chest at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't want them. So I always, anytime people tell me that, I'm like, okay, well, thanks, but no. They're like, oh, I think it would benefit you in your field. No, because I'm not stepping on stage. I'm not going to be like this fitness model that needs all my proportions like to match up. Like, I like where I'm at. If anything, at this point, if I was to get surgery done, I think they would just annoy the shit out of me and I would be super unhappy.
Yeah.
So, like we were talking about before, just because somebody else thinks that you might look better a type of way, and so many people feed into, oh, okay, well, now I'm gonna spend 6 to 10 grand on a new set of boobs instead of using it for a down payment on something or education on something or something to help them. They just fall into that, and then once you start listening to other people about getting work done, you're spending all this money, and then you're not going to be able to recognize yourself anymore, and you might be so miserable, or you get botched, and then you gotta go.
It's a very interesting show.
Yeah. So
but like, I honestly, like, my boobs are like the first thing that fluctuates. Like, I lose weight in my boobs, that's the first thing, or like I gain weight right away. And like, some of my friends will say, "Oh, your boobs got smaller." I'm like, "Okay, they got smaller." Like, what is that going to change about me?
Yeah, nothing.
Cool.
Okay, thank you for pointing that out for me.
Thanks. I got bras for when they get smaller, and I got bras for when they get bigger, and then I just go from there.
One pair of pants in 4 different sizes on all my fluctuations, from when I used to like cut weight for tournaments, or the time of the month, or if I'm skinny Jess, or if I'm added some weight on for my strength program Jess, like everything's different. And as long as you're...
Doesn't make you feel different about yourself.
No, you shouldn't. Everyone's gonna have their own insecurities naturally about themselves, but you shouldn't let other people bring up new insecurities to you.
Yeah.
I, like, again, having a small chest. As a female, it's your quote unquote, that's like your womanhood. Like having breasts, for whatever reason, people think is like, oh, you have flat little boy chests. Okay, I'm still a female. Like, I don't feel the need to, it's not a big insecurity for me. Again, like I said, different things about my face or different things were my insecurity. But people bring up to me that I have a flat chest. I have not brought onto myself that insecurity. So again, not allowing people to get into your headspace and bring up new things that weren't bothering you initially.
I also feel like too, if people have the decency to just like throw something in your face that they notice, like, what does that say about yourself? Like, are you really happy with yourself? Like, don't bring what you think I would be insecure about and like throw it in my face. I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go home and still feel the same about myself. Your opinion is irrelevant.
I'm still not gonna get boobs. Because again, bringing it back to what we're talking about earlier, they might like big boobs on somebody, but the guy that I'm supposed to be with is gonna love my little baby boy chest.
And guys like natural. They do. They like natural. I'm saying, like, I feel like I've talked to a lot of guys. They'd rather a natural chest versus like, I feel like implants. And it's actually really bad for you to have implants.
Yeah, you have to get them like changed every so
often.
With
good. I don't like surgery.
Like butt implants, people get everything implanted. Like men, ladies, we're not even just talking about you.
Yeah.
Men get implants too.
I've seen guys
with calf implants.
I've seen guys with lip fillers.
Literally, everybody gets work done. Like some people are genetically like, oh, I can't. No matter how much I work, I can't get calves. Guys, especially guys that do like figure shows or whatever, people get calf implants. You see all these dudes with ridiculous like implants in their biceps, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like again, what we talked about earlier. For me, somebody's body and the work that they put in for their body, it shows a character trait to me. So a lot of people think that I'm automatically attracted to like a bodybuilder, steroided out dude with 6 packs and his traps on traps and shoulders on shoulders. And I'm just like, it's not necessarily. If I can see somebody that is putting time into their body and working on it, and they know what they're doing, and there's a difference between what you look like and the work you put in. So for me, somebody that looks good and you can tell is more naturally getting there, that is more attractive to me. So you don't need to have, again, shoulders on your shoulders and a 12-pack ripped up if that comes unnaturally. Because that's showing a character trait as to, okay, I took a shortcut to get here, and that's all good and well for them, but I'm attracted to somebody who is knowledgeable, structured, disciplined, dedicated. That's what somebody having a good physique means to me. It's not necessarily the aesthetics part, it's a character trait which is attractive to me over somebody that works out in the gym. So again, everybody has these physical insecurities. It's just roping back to the fact of, if you're gonna get work.
For me, somebody's body and the work that they put in for their body, it shows a character trait to me. So a lot of people think that I'm automatically attracted to like a bodybuilder, steroided out dude with 6 packs and his traps on traps and shoulders on shoulders. And I'm just like, it's not necessarily. If I can see somebody that is putting time into their body and working on it, and they know what they're doing, and there's a difference between what you look like and the work you put in. So for me, somebody that looks good and you can tell is more naturally getting there, that is more attractive to me. So you don't need to have, again, shoulders on your shoulders and a 12-pack ripped up if that comes unnaturally. Because that's showing a character trait as to, okay, I took a shortcut to get here, and that's all good and well for them, but I'm attracted to somebody who is knowledgeable, structured, disciplined, dedicated. That's what somebody having a good physique means to me. It's not necessarily the aesthetics part, it's a character trait which is attractive to me over somebody that works out in the gym. Point blank, to me, again, that's just my opinion, but I think that a lot of healthcare professionals will agree on that point as well. So now that we talked about insecurities and just be honest so that other people don't feel bad about themselves, do whatever you need to do, just be honest about it. Own your insecurities, be your own person.
Oh yeah.
There's no other person than you. But now we are going to get into our health, beauty, fitness tips. Courtney, oh, we have our things with us.
Oh, the one day I have my things. Should I just take a video of it on my phone? Well, okay. So I'll just take pictures and post. Sorry guys, our camera died. Anyway, so my favorite foundations that I like to use, I'm gonna give them to you guys, but keep in mind if you have dry skin, because me and you have talked about this, you said that you have friends that ask you questions about if they have dry skin. The biggest thing for people who have dry skin, and they always come to me and ask me like those questions, it is your skincare regimen. So what I use on my face, anyone can really use. It just depends on what you like. But anyone who asks me about dry skin, and then I'll ask them a question like, how often do you get facials? And they're like, never. I'm like, okay, so you have a lot of built up dry skin, and then you're trying to put foundation over that. It is just gonna look cakey, and it's not gonna look good. So if you did my foundations that I like to use and you have dry skin, never gotten a facial, it's gonna look different on you versus I go get facials once a month. I get my skin dermaplaned, which is removing like the dead skin and peach fuzz that women have. I do that too, so I really take care of my skin. And not even just that, even if I didn't go once a month for a facial and all that, I take care of my skin. I do treatments once a week. I do masks. I use good primers. You really need to like prime your skin, prep your skin before you do any of that, because honestly, you don't need a lot of foundation. I personally don't like to put a lot on. You've done your makeup before. You don't feel like you have a lot on. I don't like that unless I'm doing like camera makeup, then you have to load a lot on because the camera washes you out. But anyway, my prep. I like Bobbi Brown. I've been using this. It's vitamin enriched face base. So it has like vitamin C in it, and it's really good. I use this. I also use Kiehl's moisturizer. I have it in my kit at home. Mario Badescu facial spray. This one has aloe, chamomile, and lavender. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Chamomile, yes.
Yeah. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm out of it. The Hangover Cure from Too Faced is my absolute favorite. I use this before I put anything on, spray my face with it, then I'll do my moisturizer, and then I also use this to set my makeup in. That, and then to wash my face and my makeup off, I use Albuline. I actually have it out there.
Oh.
It's like I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it. My favorite foundations, Makeup Forever Reboot. This is my like summer foundation because I feel like it's very light. It's not full coverage. I put a little bit on because I don't like to wear a lot of foundation because it kind of like just feel like it's gross. That and then Makeup Forever HD stick is my favorite, so I use those two together. I always put the Makeup Forever HD stick. This is full coverage. I put that on after I do my moisturizer, prepping, all of that stuff. And then if I want heavy makeup, I still use this. If I want light and just do powders, love that. NARS, I have this in my kit. I haven't been using this a lot because I found these two, but this is what I started with, so this is like a good one to have. They have a new one. This is just like the all day wear. They have a new one out that I haven't tried yet, but I like NARS a lot. Then my absolute favorite too that is good on everyone, Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I'm actually obsessed with this. I've been using this for like a couple months now. I think I use it on you.
Where do you have to go to like Sephora?
Sephora has all of these. They usually run some deals here and there. Makeup Forever is actually not super expensive. The Charlotte Tilbury and NARS are pretty expensive, but if you guys want like a good foundation from like a drugstore, Maybelline, All Day, I think it's All Day Wear, that and L'Oreal, they're really good.
So like I said, some people ask about foundations for different skin types. So you're saying it's not necessarily...
I've used this on every skin type.
So it's not necessarily your skin type.
It's really not necessarily the foundation. It's what you're doing to prep your skin.
Okay.
So I like toners, to use some toners. I like the micellar water.
Yeah.
Facials, keep your skin hydrated. But you could even get the dermaplaning thing. You could get that now at CVS. And like I just do my T-zone because my T-zone's very dry. I usually do it like right above my eyebrows, gets like pretty dry, and then I use a lot of setting sprays because it helps hydrate your skin. Because when you're putting a lot of foundation on, you want to keep your skin hydrated.
Okay, so whether you have dry, oily, combo skin, it's not so much the foundation that you're choosing, whether it's powder.
It's the prepping and
whatever the other
taking
types
care of your skin prior. Like I take more time to prep the skin than I do to actually put the foundation and contouring on.
Yeah. So it's like the prep that makes all the difference.
And everyone's like, what are you doing that's taking so long on my skin? Like, is that before I even put foundation on? I'm like, oh no, this is me just prepping your skin.
Also, how important is it, because my sister yells at me about this, your makeup brush health?
Oh, wash them very often. Yeah. That'll make your skin break out.
I find that when I don't wash my foundation brush, no, it's fine. I don't use it that often. And then it just builds up on itself.
And change your mascara. I change mine once a month.
Okay.
Even you should probably do it more, but if you put it on your eyes and then put it back in, you're putting bacteria in.
Okay. Yeah, so I get yelled at about that all the time with the makeup brush thing. But I also I do find that it feels more disgusting if I don't wash
on
the
myself.
brush.
I'll go like 2 times of doing my makeup, but it gets hard.
Yeah.
Everyone I clean in between each one. I literally wash it and I like wash it again like 4 times even before COVID. This is just sanitation you have to do.
So prep your skin, wash your brushes more often.
Wash your brushes, please. Please.
All right, guys. So today for the health fitness tip, I'm kind of gonna go into almost what we were just talking about with people having fake kind of facades about things. And I'm going to go into kind of label reading and marketing on certain products, especially products that are kind of almost health and fitness driven. So right as we came in here, we should have just recorded at that point. So I have a Bang energy drink here, and I have a Lenny and Larry complete. I don't know why I'm raising this up because the camera's not on anymore. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm looking at it right now for you guys. I'm going to start with the Lenny and Larry cookie. So a few things that you want to look out for when you are looking at marketing. A lot of people have in their mind, okay, it's a protein cookie. It's better for me than a regular cookie. Let's get that out of our head from the beginning. Okay, so all of these new and health-based products, these people who are in marketing and who are in the company know that health and fitness is a massive market right now, okay? So these people created it, and no soy, no dairy, no egg, non-GMO, vegan, kosher, great, awesome. A bunch of different types of people who prefer different things can eat it, great. But if you actually read the label of it, the front of the package, very nice, 16 grams of protein is very, very big. And then I see that they've changed it since, because I'm sure they've been called out on it a bunch before. Plant-based, 10 grams of fiber, great, there's fiber in it. 16 grams of protein. So people look at it, they're like, oh, 16 grams of protein, awesome, decent amount of protein in it. It's a protein cookie, cool, I'm gonna eat it after I work out or
that would
whatever.
be me. I'm that person.
Courtney literally grabbed it. I love these. So
I
we're
am
gonna
that
talk
person.
about it. Okay. So now if we look at the back of it, nutrition facts: 2 servings per cookie. Serving size is half a cookie. So again, serving size is half a cookie, but there's a whole cookie. So now
They
you're gonna
getcha.
They getcha. So now you have to look at the serving size. Per serving, it's 230 calories. Per serving, there's 14 grams of sugar. Per serving, there's 8 grams of protein.
So you're saying I could pretty much just have a chocolate chip cookie?
Eat the fucking donut.
I could eat a donut.
Eat the fucking donut with the amount
See,
of
like,
sugar
you
in
have
it
people
anyway.
like me, I'd be at, like, where you get them, like, GNC or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'd be like,
You can get
oh,
it anywhere now.
this is there. It's healthy. I'm going to have it.
Yeah, no. So make sure that you're not falling victim of advertisement. Again,
It's me.
if Courtney literally was so excited I had this cookie in here. So again, 16 grams of protein per cookie, but that's 2 serving sizes. So yes, you are getting 16 grams of protein for the whole cookie, but you are also getting 28 grams of sugar involved in that. Okay, so let's be a little more conscious about just falling for health marketing, because again, they're out to get you with just showing you, okay, there's 16 grams of protein in this cookie, eat this cookie, but then they're gonna get you with the sugar and the serving sizes on it, okay? So that's just not Lenny and Larry, that's just what I have. That's just what I got, it's the easiest thing to do. Okay, now I'm gonna go on to our Bang energy drink. I drink Bangs daily, that's it. And a lot of people are like, oh, you're a health person, you're drinking an energy drink. First, I wanna debunk something about Bangs and Reigns. They're not the same thing as Red Bulls and Monsters, okay? So with Bangs and Reigns, 2 ingredients that are in Red Bulls and Monsters that are not in Reigns and Bangs are gonna be your taurine and your guarana, okay? There is caffeine in it, but energy drinks are very bad for you in your brain health because of the combination of taurine, guarana, and caffeine put together. There's been studies that show that it actually kind of diminishes brain cells. The combination of the 3 of those, if you drink them over and over again. Curly-headed frequent stays with the shotguns. Okay, but that's not what I want to talk about. I just want to tell you the difference between them and why, if you're going to drink an energy drink, those are better for you. By no means am I telling you, go out and drink this nutritional, great drink for you. Okay, it's just what I drink. It is what it is. Okay, when you're looking at a Bang and a Reign, the top of it has these names around it, right? Super creatine, ultra CoQ10, EAA aminos. Okay, everybody's like, oh, creatine, that gives me muscles and gives me size,
Everyone,
right?
again, me.
Right.
That
so
would be me.
People just look at these like buzzwords that they see. They're like, oh, creatine. So either people are all about it because they're like, oh, I'm drinking a creatine drink with energy and it tastes great and it's better for me because it has vitamins and minerals in it. Okay. Now I want you to read the ingredients. If you go to the ingredients, if you've ever taken a nutrition course or anything like that, the first ingredient on the ingredient list is the most in this can. So if you read it, carbonated water, that's what majority of this can encompasses, is carbonated water. As you start to go down the list, if you go all the way to the end, then you're gonna find your super creatine. As long as there is a trace amount of creatine in this, they can market it as having creatine. So if you are about the bang because, oh, I'm getting my creatine in, no, you're not. It's the last ingredient on this list. That means it's the least amount that this drink is made up of, okay? Same thing if you're like, no, I don't want to drink that because there's creatine in it. Not really, okay? So again, when you see all these buzzwords all over the can, all over the package, check where in the ingredient list it is, or if it's listed in what percentage it is. But if you make your way through this ingredient list and you find that something that you're really opposed to or you're really about is the last ingredient in the ingredient list, it's barely fucking in here. They're literally using it as marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, again, I don't drink this for the creatine.
So pretty much just DM you and ask you before they wanted to keep drinking this stuff or eating the cookie.
Yeah, so that's just a quick tip for you guys on marketing. So a lot of the time, especially now, the fitness industry is booming and everybody is health and fitness and vegan this or this and all different things that are very fad, and businesses and companies are taking advantage of that and using these buzzwords or this like, oh, protein or oh, creatine to kind of grasp you. Pay attention to what it actually consists of with it and check your serving sizes. So that's my little tip of the day, guys. Okay.
All right.
Episode 9 complete.
Oh, wow. We're killing it.
All right, guys. Thank you to our sponsors.
Glow Commando FT Performance Labs.
No windy sleeves.
Bye, guys.
See you guys next time. Episode 10.
Ooh.